Welcome to the summary of the book, So Good They Can't Ignore You, by Cal Newport. Let's start with the big myth Cal Newport wants to crush right away. Follow your passion is terrible career advice. That's right. Despite what every motivational poster and Instagram quote says, Newport argues that chasing passion is actually a trap and one of the worst ways to find fulfilling work. Why? Because most people don't have a clear, pre-existing passion. And those who do often discover that turning it into a job doesn't magically make them happy. Instead, it can lead to frustration, confusion, and a lot of job hopping. So what does Newport say you should focus on instead? Be so good they can't ignore you. In other words, develop rare and valuable skills that the market cares about, and the passion will follow. Let's break this down in simple, practical terms. The passion trap. Newport calls it the passion trap because it convinces people they're missing out on something magical. They think, once I find that perfect job, I'll love every second of it. But here's the truth. Most people grow to love their work after they've put in the time to master something. In other words, skill comes first, then satisfaction. If you chase passion without skill, you end up constantly switching paths, feeling lost or worse, disappointed. Newport gives examples of people who followed their passions, quit stable jobs, and ended up broke or burned out. So he flips the script. Don't ask, what's my passion? Ask, what can I get really good at? The craftsman mindset versus the passion mindset. This is one of the most important ideas in the book. Most people operate with a passion mindset. What do I really want? Is this job fulfilling enough for me? Am I doing what I love? This mindset is focused inward and often leads to dissatisfaction, especially early in a career. The craftsman mindset, on the other hand, focuses on how can I create value? How can I improve my skills? How can I be undeniably good at what I do? This is the mindset that leads to real success. Craftsmen don't chase. They build. They practice. They sharpen their tools. And because of that, they eventually gain freedom, creativity, and yes, passion. The core message, Cal Newport, is clear. Passion is not something you find. It's something you earn through mastery. Think of any job you admire: writer, surgeon, designer, entrepreneur. Behind the scenes, there's a lot of skill that was built through repetition, feedback, and deep work. So if you want a job you love, stop chasing a feeling. Start getting good at something the world values. That's how you create options, opportunities, and ultimately, a career you can be proud of. Now let's explore the alternative Cal Newport offers: building career capital. This is where your work starts to get exciting, but it also requires patience, consistency, and a craftsman mindset. So let's break it down step by step. What is career capital? Imagine you're collecting rare and valuable coins, only instead of money, you're building skills, results, and reputation in your field. That's career capital. It's the stuff that makes you valuable in the marketplace. Mastering a technical skill, a leading successful project, building a reputation for excellence, becoming known as the go-to person for something. The more career capital you have, the more control, freedom, and passion you'll earn later. This flips the typical job search upside down. Most people look for what excites them. Newport says, focus on becoming exceptional instead. And here's the key insight. Great work is not found, it's built. Why you need to earn control. Everyone wants freedom, flexibility, autonomy. But here's where most people mess up. They try to grab control too early, before they've built enough capital to justify it. Example: a new freelancer demands to work on their own terms without any track record. Or someone wants to quit their 9-to-5 and launch a startup before learning how to manage projects or solve real problems. Newport calls this control traps. Trap 1. You try to gain control before you're valuable enough, and the market pushes back. Trap 2. You gain control, maybe you get that dream job or independence, But then you give it up too quickly because you never built the skill or discipline to manage it. So, how do you avoid both? You earn control by building rare and valuable skills. Once you're too good to ignore, people start giving you freedom. Or you're skilled enough to take the risk and create your own opportunities. The rule: don't quit prematurely. Cal Newport is very direct about this. Do not pursue more control, freedom, flexibility, independence, unless you've built enough career capital to support it. This sounds boring to some, but it's the truth. The most respected, fulfilled professionals didn't leap first. They mastered first. They did the work. They pushed through repetition. They became great and then they gained options. Examples from real life. Newport gives the example of a young writer who wanted to ditch her job to follow her dream. Instead, she stayed, got better at writing, built an audience, improved her process, and then made the move. Or the software developer who focused relentlessly on one specific technical niche. He became world-class, and then launched a wildly successful consulting business on his terms. In every case, mastery came before freedom. What you should be doing now. If you're early in your career or in a transition, this is your path. Drop the perfect job search. Pick something valuable and marketable. Commit to getting good, really good at it. Track your progress, seek feedback, and keep improving. Stay consistent, even when it's boring or slow. And slowly, you'll collect more and more career capital. That capital becomes your leverage. To ask for raises. To negotiate your schedule. To start your own thing. To say no to work you don't enjoy. To create passion through purpose. So what's the big message here? Control, freedom, and fulfillment don't come from chasing passion. They come from earning career capital and using it wisely. Be strategic, be patient, and above all, become so good they can't ignore you. So far, you've learned 2 game-changing truths. 1. Passion doesn't come first, skill does. 2. Control and freedom at work aren't handed out, you have to earn them through career capital. Now in this part, Newport introduces another common trap, one that many well-meaning people fall into, especially when they want to do something meaningful with their lives. It's called the mission trap. Let's break it down. Why having one big purpose can backfire. A lot of people put intense pressure on themselves to find their purpose. They think, if I don't have a big mission, I'm wasting my life. I just need to find what I was born to do. But here's what Newport discovered. That thinking often leads to frustration, not clarity. Why? Because most missions, especially powerful ones, don't come to you in a flash of inspiration. They emerge gradually as you build expertise and gain deeper insight into your field. In simple terms, you don't find your mission by sitting around and thinking. You find it by doing, by learning, and by getting really good at something over time. The mission comes after mastery. Here's the pattern Newport found over and over. 1. People start by building rare and valuable skills. 2. Those skills open doors to new experiences and network. 3. Through those experiences, a mission begins to form naturally. You can't fake this. Trying to create a mission before you've earned your place in the industry is like trying to lead a team before you've played the game. You don't have the context. You don't see the real problems worth solving yet. You're missing the credibility and insight that come with time and expertise. Mission thinking that works. So Newport doesn't say, don't have a mission. He says, don't force one too early. When you've built up your skills, your mission can take shape through something called the little bets strategy. Here's how it works. Instead of trying to design your perfect life purpose, you make small, low-risk experiments to explore what excites you. For example, a designer might try a few side projects in sustainability. Or a software developer might start a weekend project for healthcare tools. Or a writer might blog on different topics and see what resonates. These small bets give you real-world feedback. You don't guess, you test. And eventually, one of those paths clicks. You find traction. You feel energy. And your mission starts to crystallize, not as a fantasy, but as a strategy. Focus beats daydreaming. Newport shares stories of people who were stuck in dreaming mode for years, looking for a grand purpose, and finally moved forward when they focused on one skill and built real value. Once they had that solid foundation, they could start shaping their work around their interests and values. But the key lesson is this: don't wait for clarity before taking action. Take action to create clarity. So, what's the message here? You don't need to find your passion or your purpose or your life mission before you get started. Instead, focus on mastering valuable skills. Let your mission evolve out of experience, not imagination. You'll stop spinning in circles and start building a life that's not only meaningful but sustainable too. By now, you've seen the full roadmap. A don't chase passion. A build career capital by mastering valuable skills. A use that capital to earn control and discover your mission through real experience, not daydreaming. So now the final question is: how do you stay on this path without getting distracted, discouraged, or pulled back into the passion fantasy? Let's walk through the closing ideas Cal Newport shares, because these will help you stay consistent even when the process feels long, slow, or uncertain. 1. Stay focused on the craft. Newport says it clearly. The best way to build a fulfilling, passion-filled career is to get really good at something rare and valuable, and to keep getting better. That means doing the work, even when it's not glamorous. Practicing your skills deliberately, not just going through the motions. Seeking feedback so you can sharpen your craft, not just repeat it. In his words, you need deliberate practice. It's the same thing top athletes and musicians do. They don't just show up, they push themselves outside their comfort zone on purpose to keep growing. So if you're a writer, write better pieces each time. If you're a developer, build cleaner, faster code. If you're a designer, refine your eye for detail. This is where long-term satisfaction is built. Not in day 1 hype, but in day 100 discipline. 2. Avoid the courage culture advice. Newport warns about a trap that's very popular online. It's the advice that says, just quit your job and go chase your dream. But here's the problem with that. Most people who do this haven't built the skills, the network, or the leverage to make it work. So they end up stressed out financially, struggling to stand out, regretting their decision because they had no foundation. Instead of quitting your job to follow your bliss, Newport advises, use your current position to build capital. Then, when the time is right, you can take calculated risks, not blind leap. That's not fear. That's strategy. 3. Build a career like an entrepreneur. Even if you work a 9 to 5, Newport says to treat your career like an entrepreneur would treat a business. Build value, skills, and results. Grow your equity, reputation, and influence. Invest in yourself, learning, mentorship, experimentation. The more capital you create, the more optionality you gain. You can pivot into a new role. You can ask for better terms. You can create something of your own. This gives you control, and that's what people really want from work. Not just fun, not just passion, but the ability to shape their day, their work, and their life. 4. The final message: passion follows excellence. At the end of the book, Cal Newport drives this home. Don't do what you love. Learn to love what you do by becoming excellent at it. When you're great at something, you feel more confident. You have more opportunities. You get to work on more interesting problems. People respect and seek you out. And that's when real passion kicks in. Not because you chased it, but because you earned it. So what's the lasting takeaway from So Good They Can't Ignore You? The dream job doesn't come from searching harder. It comes from building your skills, mastering your craft, and using that leverage to shape a meaningful, exciting career on your own terms. Forget the fantasy of instant passion. Play the long game, and become so good they can't ignore you. That is the end of the summary of the book. Subscribe for more books.